Hi, welcome back to RafflesCooks, where today I'm making homemade peanut butter, jam and bread. So I've been advised by my brother the lawyer that the term PB&J is actually protected under the Copyright Designs and Patents Acts of 1988. Isn't that right, Freddie?
What? No.
Okay then. Let's get ready to rumble.
Ugh.
We're going to make a really simple, quick and easy homemade raspberry chia seed jam. It's going to take 5 minutes to boil in the pan, a little while sit in the fridge, and then you've got your own homemade brand new jam. Let's make this. Now, contrary to popular belief, raspberries are not just boys' strawberries. So at this time of year, summer, I find the best place to source fresh or any raspberries is from the second shelf of my mum's freezer. Now, for this recipe, you'll want 500 grams worth, so that's about 1.5 bags. Start by weighing out 500 grams of frozen raspberries in this recipe from The Food Medic, making sure to get some on top of the freshly cleaned hob. So after you've cleaned up the mess you made on your hob, you're now going to weigh out the rest of your ingredients, which are 40 grams of chia seeds and 2 tablespoons of water. Now set your hob to medium heat and hope you're not going to have to clean it for the 3rd time in the last 10 minutes. Now put all of your frozen raspberries into your hot pan using your favourite wangjangler to make sure no stragglers get left behind. Using the back of your spatula, keep stirring and mashing the raspberries down, making sure none stick to the side of the pan. Feel free to use your trusty wooden spoon to help speed things up.
Some good mashing.
Now add in a good squidge of honey, that's about a tablespoon for you Americans, followed by your chia seeds, and then some spices. I'm using a bit of cinnamon, and of course a bit of vanilla extract. Keep stirring it with your trusty wooden spoon for another 2 to 3 minutes until it starts to thicken up and look like this. Then take it off the heat, pour it into a heat-proof, cute little jar like this, and then pop it in the fridge for a few hours to firm and solidify up. Now let's make Grandma Raffles' good old peanut butter. Start by buying some peanuts from your local peanut man. Now to make peanut butter, you're going to need peanuts. You can either use monkey nuts in shell if you have too much free time, or buy pre-roasted peanuts. And of course butter. In fact, you're not even going to need butter. And you'll need a high-powered blender like a nutribullet or the RafflesCooks Blendo 3000 TM. Available soon. So if you're using whole monkey nuts, shell them and then roast them at 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. Or if you're using pre-roasted peanuts, just measure out 1 cup of them. Pour your peanuts into the jar of your high-powered blender and then blitz that for a good few minutes, making sure to take it out, stir down the sides and then blitz it again. It'll go through several different stages, but eventually you'll end up with good old peanut butter. To jar up the peanut butter, find some adorable little jars, then realise they're too small, so switch to a ramekin. Using a small spatula, pour in your peanut butter into your little container. So what's our homemade peanut butter taste like compared to Skippy's chunky peanut butter? That does taste like peanut butter. Yep, that's what I thought. And doesn't this peanut butter just look pretty damn good? Now, to make the flatbread, you want to start... Hey you! Who? Me? Can you wash up later? I'm in the middle of filming the flatbread scene. How come you're on camera and I'm the one washing up? Because I'm just better on camera. Right, so now that's out the way, go back to your local peanut selling man and buy some flour off him. All you'll need to make easy flatbread is flour, I used plain, and baking powder. Mix together 1/4 cup of plain flour in your favourite bowl with about a teaspoon of baking powder. Slowly add in about 1/2 cup of water, mixing it constantly with a silicone spatula until it starts to come together and has the texture of about a shaggy dough. Now you hadn't forgotten to preheat your oven to about 220 degrees C, had you? Then get yourself a baking tray, line it with baking paper or a silpat, and then smush out your dough into a nice big circle, then pop that in the oven for about 10 minutes, and you're done. Then take out your bread, and slice it in half, plate up, and that's it. Should you want to save the bread for later, it also freezes really well. So now it's time to plate up. Onto a warm toasted piece of our flatbread, let's slather on a good layer of our Sir Kippy's homemade peanut butter, followed by a nice tablespoon of jam, spread out right the way to the edges, and then it's time to enjoy. Make sure to take some artsy panning shots around your PB&J, and then let's go to the taste test. So quite a few of you really liked my impartial taste testing friend from last week's video. So for this week's PB&J, I thought I'd find someone else impartial to taste it. Hey you!
Who? Me?
Yes, you, my handsome graduating friend. Do you want to try some homemade PB&J I've just made?
Yes, I'd love to.
Here you go.
Thank you. Now that tastes like a first-class PB&J.
And don't just take my word for it. Here's what my mum thought of it. Thanks for watching this week's video, and here's a few bloopers to liven up your day. Now to make the flatbread... Sorry.
No, keep on, keep on.
Now to make the flatbread... Sorry. I'm just picturing...
Remember, eventually it'll stop being funny. I just can't help being extremely amusing. It's not. Raspberries are not just boy strawberries.
Now, contrary to popular belief, raspberries are not just boy strawberries.
What's my fault? Okay, we'll get this. We will get this. Are you sure you want to do this all in one take? It's very bold.
I live dangerously.